Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering Fuego releases from KARD, KDA, Blackpink, and Day 6. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage, including conflict over fan cams, new groups on the horizon, and BTS's week of accomplishments. So prepare your body, turn up the volume because we coming in hot. Hit me with that intro! What's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 102, and we're recording on August 31st, 2020. I'm Doug, and joining me today we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to the SojuTalk YouTube channel, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the SojuTalk Nation. All right, so announcements. We don't got any today. But the one thing I think is kind of crazy is like we're already into September. Like by the time you're listening to this, that seems kind of crazy to me. I think 2020 has been a really strange year, and we're still not over it, but it's moving quite quickly. But we are now at part 1 of SojuTalk episode 102, where we discuss big new releases, choose a spicy song king, and hit you with them music show winners. Boom! Alright, so in terms of big new releases, we're covering 4 this week. On August 26th, Wednesday, we had KARD with Gunshot. On August 27th, we had KDA's pre-release with the Baddest. On August 28th, we had probably the biggest release of the week, Blackpink featuring Selena Gomez with their second pre-release, Ice Cream. And then today, on August 28th, Monday, wait, my script is wrong. On August 31st, Monday, we had Day 6's Even of the Day unit with Where the Sea Sleeps. Okay, but let's start at the top with KARD and Gunshot. So they are from DSP. They debuted back in 2017. Last 3 songs were Red Moon, Bomb Bomb, Ride on the Wave, 0 music show wins so far. Let's get it.
Get it.
You know, this song Gunshot is a really, I think, a pretty big departure from the normal KARD types of songs that we're getting.
The tropical reggaeton type of vibe.
Is it though?
It's like a different iteration, I would say.
It's like a variant. It's a variant.
One step to the side, not like 180. Like they're not doing bubblegum pop here.
I mean, at this point, I'm just happy something's changing. Okay. Right?
Okay.
Like, I'm giving them that.
I mean, wasn't Bomb Bomb and Red Moon? Oh, I don't know about Red Moon, but Bomb Bomb was like not really Moonbathon based, was it? Or am I mixing that up?
Not as much. Not as much.
Right.
Because Ride on the Wave is like the typical summer bop, right? That was
right.
And then they've been changing up the song in little bits and in places, but Gunshot, you know, there's one girl in this group, G1, who was on Good Girl, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Maybe since I saw her on Good Girl, but for some reason, for me, she's like hard carrying this song. I thought.
Very
I was thinking the same thing because her voice tone was it was a lot more recognizable compared to the other girl and the 2 rappers, BM and I forget the other guy's name, but
J-Seth.
Yes. Yeah. It was really cool, you know.
Okay. It was really
No, it was okay. That's the thing. That's kind of how I feel about the song in general, though. Like, it was pretty cool.
You know,
I
kind of get exactly what you mean there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I feel like specifically the chorus was my favorite part of this one. The girl Somin's in the middle. They do interesting choreography there. Overall, though, I feel like KARD is fairly consistent with the like level of songs that they put out.
Yeah. I
consider all their songs to be like above average, but nothing for me has been like this is it with KARD. I don't know. What about you, Anita?
Well, I think talking about the track specifically again, I do see the slight change, like the increment of change they're doing with their comebacks. It's just it still feels like it's quite safe, right? It's still quite safe and still very much in line with what they do. So I feel like they just need to find that ratio, right? That perfect combination of a little bit different so that it's shocking and refreshing, but still retaining their sound, what you would associate with KARD, right? And what makes it really popular, especially for international fans, because I feel like their fan base internationally is very, very strong. And I think it has to do with their trademarks sound.
I think also, so I have their Wikipedia page up. I'm looking at the album sales. Their first album sold 18,000, and it was their best-selling album. Every single album, every single EP since then has gone down in sales. So obviously that's not a great look, and I think that them starting to branch out, change things is probably a reaction to that, right? And I know I like Card. Like, it's one of those groups that I think a lot of people casually like, but I don't think that, at least in the circles I'm in, we have any like hard Card stands. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel a lot of people casually like Card, specifically in the West near us, right?
Yeah.
People are like,
Very
yo,
well
Card,
known.
cool, you know, big titty gang, all that stuff, you know, like everyone's in for the memes with BM, right? Like, you know, I wonder what it's gonna take for Card to like pop off, though. That's the question I always ask myself when we listen to them. But in terms of the music video itself, there's some interesting things going on, right? Like,
Quite gory.
yeah, it's another kind of bloody music video following up on that One Us song we covered. Right?
Is it a trend?
I guess it's a thing now. Yeah.
They also had like there was a thing with like, I don't know if they were going for clones at the end or
Yes,
something.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was interesting. There's like a sci-fi / horror thing going on, right? That was sort of the concept. It was almost like a crime scene as well. It was a bunch of those things.
I didn't like the music video at all.
Oh.
Okay.
I thought the song was pretty solid. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but you know, it was pretty cool. The music video felt a little too much. Like, it kind of felt like artificial a little bit, but like it felt very like cliche, and it felt lacking in terms of conviction. Like, it felt very much like, oh, okay, they're acting out this, you know, concept. And it didn't like grab me in, which some music videos have, where this is more like, okay, you know, they have a scar makeup on this time around, so, you know, but there's fake blood, and oh wow, cool.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it was like, oh, I'm behind the fence, let me out. Oh, the car's on fire. Oh, violence, like that kind of deal. Where I was like, it's a little too much, a little cheesy.
Can I say something about the music video? It feels like a bunch of sexy people looking sexy, right? Like that's like the main attraction of this music video, right?
They knew their shots, you know, their angles.
I mean, yeah, they're doing well in that respect, I would say. But Anita, did you like the gun themed choreo, specifically in the chorus?
I thought it makes sense, right? Especially with the sound effect in the chorus as well.
Yeah.
I do feel like it makes it catchy, right? So you remember that choreo along with the chorus. It almost felt a little cliche, though. I do feel like, I was expecting that right there. Like, it didn't feel new. Like, I feel like it almost felt like it kind of stopped the flow in the chorus to me. Like, it happened, and the gunshot sound and the choreo,
it's
and then it starts
slow
again.
Chorus, right? It's
Yeah. Doesn't actually pick up a bit.
I mean,
so.
the track itself is a little slow, right? It's like a slower, medium tempo, like reggae thing, where it's not like.
I kind of like it though. I found myself listening to it like quite often this week.
Really?
Like, more than I thought I would. Something about it to me. Maybe it's just because it's a little bit dirty. You know what I mean? This song it feels a little grimy. I'm kind of okay with that.
The cleanest track I've heard. You kidding?
All right. Well, I'm not talking about the production. I'm just talking about how it made me feel as an experience.
The vibe.
It makes you
The
feel.
vibe.
It makes you feel dirty. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't go that. Okay, maybe I will double back on what I said. But
I will say though, like in terms of like the overall like Card comebacks,
yeah,
a lot of their previous songs and comebacks and music videos and whatnot have felt very, very like very cliche and like almost annoying in that aspect. This is much more away from that, and I hope this sells quite a bit. You know,
Yes.
I feel like this is a positive direction than anything.
Okay, I don't know if this is a take, but does it feel to you? It feels to me that Card sometimes still feels like a project group where like DSP's trying to figure out if they can make a co-ed group work or not. Because it's obviously they're very unique in that regard, right? They're just two guys, two girls. No one else is really doing that, especially with pure K-pop, right? Because they're like a pure K-pop group.
Right.
And I think them being a mixed group is their biggest strength and biggest weakness, right? Because as a mixed group, they can do things that other groups cannot do. But at the same time, it's like, because of their dynamics, they're not treated as either a boy group or a girl group. They're kind of alienated in that regard as well.
Right. It usually comes down to a situation where it's a common thing in Korea where like co-ed groups, it's difficult to make it as a co-ed group because it's difficult to like nurture a fandom, right?
Yeah.
It's a little more difficult to do that. And you know, with situations like Card, I thought they would go for a more general public friendly direction. That's not what they did. They went for an international fan friendly thing, which I thought was working for a while, but according to the album sales, it's not. Maybe this is the positive direction that they're heading in, but I don't know.
I think, and also you got to think, more than any other group, the COVID situation hurts them a lot, I think.
Yeah,
that's like a thing that people aren't talking about, because you got to think like Card songs specifically, because a lot of them are like summer feeling, right? If you had to like assign a season to Card, you would be like summer, right? And summer is the time where they would kind of probably do some tours, maybe hit up some festivals in the US. They can't do that this year, so it's a bit of an oof for them, I would say.
Right. I can kind of imagine them like in like Coachella and like.
That's what I think. I think it'd be perfect.
That's their vibe.
Or like in Korea, those water festivals they got going on, things like that.
Right.
But I think that covers Card's Gunshot. Let's move on to the next one. So August 27th, Thursday, KDA's pre-release with the Baddest. So for company, I put Riot / League of Legends.
It is what it is. It is.
You know, they debuted back in 2018 with the song Pop Stars, Zero Music Show Wins, because I don't think they're even on that. But Pop Stars was a cultural phenomenon, I want to say, for K-pop. It was massive. So for some context, KDA is like this project group, right? It's like it's like basically K-pop, right? Because there's Korean people involved, right? So KDA is a group, and in terms of the group, it's based off of 4 characters from the game League of Legends: Kaisa, Ari, Akali, and Evelyn, right? And each of those characters is played by a different person. So Kaisa's played by, let me make sure I pronounce this right, Wolf Taya, yep. And then Ari is Mion from G-Idol, Akali is Soyeon from G-Idol, and then Evelyn, in this track specifically, they changed the person, so now it's B Miller.
Why
so
did
B
they
Miller.
change? Why
I don't know. I didn't read up on that, but Evelyn is B Miller this time. So
interesting.
Those are them. They're basically like avatars for those characters. They're singing for them, right? I think KDA, I'm going to start off with a take. KDA is one of the most important K-pop S groups because they are drawing so many eyes to K-pop through League of Legends. I think that there are a lot of people who listen to K-pop now who their first exposure to K-pop was pop stars.
So a different audience right there.
Yeah, I think that it's targeting a totally different audience.
I can kind of see that. I remember like when this is a little this isn't KDA, but if there's a rapper called Mush Venom in Korea, he did a song for LCK championships.
Yep, which is the Korean League of Legends League.
League Championship of Korea. Yeah. And the theme song he did went like semi-viral in America, and everyone was like durudunga, durudunga, durudunga in chat the entire time. And like that did draw a lot of attention to Korean rap. Like that was pretty cool. So I guess yeah.
It works.
All right, but let's talk about the song itself. So obviously this is a pre-release. It's technically a really well done lyrics video, right?
Yes.
To be honest.
Yeah, that's what it is.
There's not much to talk about the music video itself, although it was edited very well, I thought. I don't know if Warren would agree with that, but overall,
pretty cool.
I think that the hard carry of this was Soyeon. You know, 100%. That girl is spitting absolute flames, I thought, the entire time.
I disagree.
Okay, good.
Really?
Good. Who do you think it is?
Well, no, I don't want to say there's a hard carry in this.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. You disagree with that part.
Right. No, obviously, no. So I'm not saying Soyeon did horribly. I think she did really well. In fact, between this episode, I guess it's a little bit of a spoiler for Blackpink, but like between Soyeon and Lisa, I'm like, who is the better idol female rapper in the scene right now? Like, it's like big internal debate. But at the same time, B Miller, never heard of her before. She played really well. Like Mion was there were clear roles for each member, and it was like so on point. Wolf Tyler, I've never heard of before.
Oh
Man.
no, yeah, check out her stuff. She's really cool. Good
She was doing
vocalist.
well.
Yeah.
I'm going to. Her verse was dope. Like she
Yeah.
held her, like stance. Like it was very well balanced. Like there was no hard carry. Everyone is the carry.
I like I like the commitment to releasing songs that are only really good. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the level of quality that Riot, like, I feel like, okay, Riot's a massive company, right? They make so much money every year because of League of Legends, all that stuff. Because people are buying cosmetic skins like me, But I feel like because they know every KDA song now, because of the hype that Popstars generated, is going to be a big deal, that the bar that they set for themselves on releasing songs is super high. So they're only going to release good stuff. Now, you got to think, this pre-release, this is just a pre-release. It's really good, right? At least, honestly, it was one of my favorite songs of the week.
Do you like it better than Popstar?
No, because Popstars is legendary. I still think Popstars is amazing. Yeah.
I do think it serves that bridge role where, like, okay, we had Popstar. This is a pre-release before we go into our EP. This kind of bridges those two, like, different situations where, like, we're evolving off of Popstar into whatever we're doing next. And that's the baddest.
This is more like the hype up to get to the next Popstars, right?
Right.
Now I'm hyped because this came out. I was like, oh, I'm ready for it now.
And I think that kind of makes sense with the ending, because when I listened to this track by itself, the ending was a little weak.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that? Like, Soyeon just does a little rap thing and they just
look at my flex, right?
Right. It just kind of ends. And I was like, what am I supposed to get here? And then I was like, oh, this is a pre-release. So I'm left wanting
hanging,
more.
yeah.
Right.
This sounds like an intro track to the album. And then all of a sudden the album, like, if you play the Baddest into KDA, is hype.
Into
like, you play them back. Yeah,
Pop
play them
stars.
like back.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of pop stars, yeah. So you play the Baddest, and then right after you play Pop Stars. Oof, that's a good combo.
I should try that.
But Anita, what'd you feel overall about the Baddest?
I also feel like, I don't know, I realize this is a pre-release, right? And that's kind of why the music video is not as high production as Pop Stars. So that's understandable. I do hope that what they're going to release next is at that level at least, because I feel like the music video for that was very, very good. Like the animation, the graphics, everything was high level. So I really hope they keep it up or even surpass that level. But as far as like song quality, I felt like, I don't know, for some reason they were kind of trying out the waters, and they still had a really good product with Pop Stars, but this feels like even more polished to me. I don't know, it feels like they really know what they're doing now, like, and like we mentioned before, the roles each person is playing, right? Like it fits them very, very well. I don't know, I feel like they're doing exactly what they know people are good at. So I don't know, it feels like it fits very well. And I mean, song wise, do I think it's better than Pop Stars? I don't really know. I feel like they're different. So I can't really compare them in that way. But knowing that this is leading up to something that's even bigger, I'm very excited to see what they do.
I think Mion specifically is having a big year. Like she was she had a really big part in Dum Dee Dum Dee, and then she's a part of KDA again. So like I feel like she's gonna get more popular. Shout out to Tugs, one of our mods. He's a Mion ulti. So shout out to Tugs. But KDA, there's such an interesting thing. And in terms of the next music video, once we actually get a music video, I'm sure it's gonna be good because Riot produces a lot of League cinematics. They have a crazy team for that. And every single League cinematic is like, it's nuts how good they are. So I would assume that once the title track comes, it'll be crazy as well.
So real quick, somebody on their Facebook asked, we need the MV. KDA replied, soon, smiley face.
Oh.
So who knows? Maybe.
Okay. There's a rumor that they're adding a fifth person to KDA because they're debuting a new champion soon. That's
what?
I forgot the name of it, but the teaser dropped yesterday.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. Oh,
I don't know, but that's just what I heard.
It's like the four of them are perfect.
Yeah, there's a rumor that they might be adding a fifth.
I don't know.
But let's move on to another group that for one song added a fifth. So on August 28th, Friday, Blackpink, featuring Selena Gomez, also known as Cell Pink. I've seen people calling this that. With their second pre-release, Ice Cream, they are from YG. They be back in 2016. Last three songs, How You Like That, Kill This Love, Do 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 Do. 34 music show wins so far. Pre-orders for Blackpink's first album, which is titled The Album, are they're now available, and there will be 4 versions of that. There's also a limited LP as well, and Cardi B is rumored to be featuring on one of the tracks.
Cardi B.
What?
All of that's like apparently happening.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm excited
You know-
for Cardi B.
And you know how we've been talking how like this album might sell a ridiculous amount, right? I'm really
Yeah.
excited to see what the numbers turn out to be. But let's talk about Ice Cream. You know, I'm gonna throw out and say this, that the internet public, right,
Yeah.
has been generally, I want to say, lukewarm on this one, right? On average, I would say.
Lukewarm's a nice way to word it.
Yeah.
I think some people have been very aggressive.
Aggressively negative about this one, right?
Yeah.
I've seen a decent amount of that as well.
I think it's one of those songs. I've also seen a bunch of people. I'll go into who, but I've seen a fair amount of people also praise the track. You know, so I think it's either a love it or hate it kind of deal.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Polarizing opinions.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll start. This is not my favorite Blackpink song, right? I'll just throw
Fair
out and say
enough.
that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, okay.
That being said, I don't think it is as horrible as a lot of people are making it out to be. That's what I'll say. My main issues are, I know there's a chorus, but it doesn't feel like a chorus. That's my main thing.
Okay.
I also saw a lot of people saying like the lyrics were questionable, if you know what I mean. They're making lots of innuendos, right? That's I think that's a
Yes.
fair thing to say.
The thing is, like, I feel kind of mixed upon that, right? Because like
Yeah,
these are adults.
of course.
They're old. They're old enough to do that if they want to do it. But then again, I feel kind of mixed because a lot of their fans are young. We've probably got 10-year-old
True.
Blinks here. Do we
That's
want
probably
Blinks?
true.
Right. Do we want the 10-year-olds to like? I don't know. Maybe I'm a little, I'm a little old and stuck up in that, mindset. But like,
And that being said, they're judged on a K-pop basis where you got to be PC about
Yeah.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because for Blackpink, in general, I wouldn't associate these type of lyrics with the
Of
stuff
course.
that they usually produce.
right.
So I think that's what's not necessarily jarring, but that's what stands out as far as lyrically, like that choice that they made.
What's
Let's talk about-
your overall impression, Warren? I'm curious.
My overall impression.
Yeah.
I feel very mixed. Okay. Let me turn it back a little bit, right? Because my first impression was that this is garbage. When I first listened to it, I was aggressive towards it.
I agree on the first listen because
Yeah.
I messaged you. I'm like, "What is this?" And you're like, "Eh?" That was our conversation.
Now, since then, I've gone back to it here and there, and realized I'm wearing the wrong kind of glasses for this track. I think if I come in expecting a trap track, as in trap music, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of danceable, like I can shake my butt to this, like. I think you kind of have to look, even the lyrics too. I think you have to kind of look at it with a postmodern approach. Now, I
Oh.
think that's a very difficult way to say trash can music, degenerate music. I think longtime listeners will recognize the name Uneducated Kid.
There it is.
Uneducated Kid, he's a bad rapper. He has a horrible flow, but his songs are bangers because it's so bad. There's no meaning. There's no meaning, and that's the meaning. When you approach it with that level of absolute low IQ degeneracy, yeah, I can shake my butt to this.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily compare this song with like the type
This
of
is the
music.
uneducated kid of K-pop. This is what it is.
Really, I wouldn't go that far. for some
Anita, you
reason.
said you were a little more positive than us. Overall.
I was, yes.
Okay.
Because
And that's a compliment.
I had a chance to hear about general public reaction and then your personal reactions, right? Before I even listened to it. So I kind of was hesitant about it. But when I listened to it, and I think the music video does a lot for the song. I think the music video
Yes.
sets the tone, the atmosphere of it, and then hearing the song, the track to it, it kind of fills in the spots where if I'm just listening to the song, it feels a little minimal. Like there's not a ton of stuff going on instrumentally. Like very, very basic as far as that. And I think that was a choice because they have so much going on visually that it almost, I feel like it could have been too messy, maybe, like to hear and see too much at the same time. And then the feature, I feel like they were not trying to overshadow any aspect of the people involved or the production of it. So I feel like they went in a safer route, I would say, because I feel like it's not necessarily anything like groundbreaking or something that would be shocking in some way.
The thing is with the beat, right? I know it's very minimal, but it's a common like cliche or pattern in like trap music to do that. It's incredibly dangerous for K-pop, but for like if we're talking about trap music, like I can think of like so many songs in Korean rap that does this, right? Like Pose by Simon D, 조심행 by Safe Club. Like there's so many. Like I could just keep naming them. Like Don't Call Me by Yumta. Like there's so many.
I like that one.
The thing, I know, great track. The thing is with these tracks, it's the actual verses and the hook, the chorus or the hook. If we're looking at it in a hip hop way, it has to be a lot more appealing. And to me, this was a little bland in that aspect, where I wish that it was a little dirtier, a little more grimy.
There should have been like a real chorus with a breakdown or something. No?
I completely disagree.
Okay, you like the what people are calling the quote lack of chorus.
I would have no. If you look at the tracks I just mentioned, like Pose by Simon D or Don't Call Me by Yumta, it's a lot simpler of a chorus.
Okay,
where it's very repetitive and it's like very rhythmatic.
And you're okay.
That's
with
not right. But they didn't do that like really well. They did that kind of not well. Is what I argue.
I feel like line distribution was a little bit of an issue on this one.
Let's talk about that.
Right?
Jisoo,
Jisoo, and I would say to a little bit less of an extent, Rosé didn't have all that many. It seemed like obviously Selena was a big part because she's the feature, right? And then Jennie did a lot of the singing, and then Lisa. Well, shout out to Lisa because she like destroyed this. I thought it was. She was bananas in this. There's a set of lines. I don't know if I want to try to talk this or rap it, but it's like the keep it moving like my Lisa, think you fly boy, where you Visa, Mona Lisa, kind of Lisa, need some ice cream man that treats her. That line is ridiculous, I thought. That was my highlight of the entire music video, was when she said that twice.
I know a lot of people don't like Jennie, but I think Jennie, like her little thing in the middle that felt very Ariana Grande-ish, I thought that was really dope. Like the part right after Jisoo where she goes like live it up, lick it up, whatever. Yeah. That thing.
Yes.
That was like for me that was the highlight. That was so like groovy, bounce.
Like I get this was all in English, but it's like it's not like Jisoo's horrific at English, right? Like I've seen the videos online of her speaking English. It's like I feel like they could have given her some more lines a little.
Here's what I feel about Jisoo, right? I feel like YG in specific doesn't know how to use Jisoo, so they hide her in the back. That's the impression I keep getting. How you like that? The one praise I had for it was that okay, they finally understand how to use Jisoo in a track. Here they're like, we're just gonna give up, and they just give her 4 bars, and that's it. That's how it got.
It's like she doesn't speak English. They'll understand, right? That's what it felt like. It felt like a cop out to me as well. Like it's like.
It just felt awkward the way she's just saying 4 bars. And like those 4 bars felt like they just gave it to her because they were like, you need the part. What are we going to do? Right? Like.
Yeah. I also feel like vocally though, I feel like Jisoo for me stands out the most because her vocal tone is a little bit lower. And I feel like it's distinguishable among the 4 of Blackpink, right? With the feature of Selena, I think her range was still more in line with Rosé, Jennie, I would say like kind of in the middle, you know? So I still feel like, as you mentioned, Warren, like the addition of Jisoo is still like kind of not quite in the appropriate spot. And I think they don't risk any, like, I don't know, trying to put her somewhere else to try to switch it up a bit, you know, try to enhance the song through her vocals because it is different. I don't know. That's frustrating.
the thing with Jisoo is that like, she has a very, like you mentioned, a chill lower tone, lower
Yeah.
pitch, like huskier thing, and they should use that. Not try to give her a part that would originally go to Rose or Selena. Like that's the impression I got. They were like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna write a part for you. We're just gonna give you like no. That's what I
Speaking
got.
of Selena, how did we feel about the feature?
I think for me, like we mentioned, it's not jarring, right? Like it makes sense for the most part, especially like the genre, I guess, still pop music, but there were times where, I guess musically and visually, it felt disconnected. Like obviously they were not recording the music video in the same spot, right? Based on the shots that they had, but I also felt like the styling that they gave each of them, Blackpink and Selena, was a little different. And
I
then
agree.
something about the beginning of the song and the audio, it made it sound like Selena sounded different in the recording than Blackpink for some reason. I don't know. I didn't notice it later in the song, but it was just in the beginning where it felt like when it went to her and then to Blackpink, it felt a little odd. So it's not like I would say it shouldn't have happened, right? I wouldn't say that, but something about it felt a little off. Like it could have been adjusted more.
The thing with Selena I always have is, and I'm not the only one that says this, but I feel like she's kind of middle of the crop in terms of her vocal tone. For me, I grew up with her in terms of Wizards of Waverly Place. That's how I learned English. Fun fact. So I grew up watching Selena, 5 years, 6 years older than me or something. Her music was, it was fun when I was when it was into her music. Then once I started listening to more music, I kind of felt like she was always kind of in the middle of the road. And then last year she dropped Rare, which felt more of an approach to bring her own narrative to her music, and that was pretty cool. Knowing these things, it felt like she wasn't bringing much to the table, honestly.
You mean like in terms of like something that Blackpink couldn't do themselves?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's the impression I got, because a lot of the parts she did could have easily been done by Jennie or Rose. If she had brought her own narrative to the track, I think that would have been cool. But that's obviously not going to work with tracks like these, right? Like she's not going to talk about her internal struggles when we're talking about I saw my wrist, I'm the queen. Like that, we're not going to do that, right? Like
I looked it up. She's the same age as me. She's looking great, and I'm over here looking poo-poo ass. Let's just say that.
you could be her brother, like.
Weird. Okay. I'll pretend you didn't say that. But I think on the big picture, right? Well, number one, styling in the music video, interesting choices. A lot of pink, right? A lot of
I liked it.
Jennie's wig?
hair. Yeah.
Yo,
so much.
I'm kind of into that. I honestly,
that was pretty cool.
Bigger picture. All right, we have Ice Cream. We have How You Like That. Two very different songs, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm very curious as to what the title track. I mean, if you're gonna call their album the album, like this title track has to be like at the level of Doo, right? Doesn't it?
It's gonna be the song.
Maybe. Oh my god! Imagine if they do. But am I alone in saying like the expectations are so high for this album?
Yeah, I feel like you also cannot tell what direction they're trying to go.
No.
It's interesting. Yeah.
I'm really curious as to what it's gonna sound like.
Compared to the other tracks that they've done in the past, I like Ice Cream.
Okay.
If you listen, I was kind of silent about it, but I was not a fan of Kill This Love. I didn't like How You Like That. I liked Whistle.
Okay.
That's a good song. Great song.
I haven't liked a lot of their other tracks. I think this is up there for me.
Interesting.
Not that I really like this track. Not that I hate the track, but like, not that I love the track, but like because internally I don't like the other tracks. This is up there for me. With that aspect for the album, I'm very curious. I'm excited again. How You Like That killed the hype for me, and this
brought it back.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Blackpink fan. I think I own Square Up though. I'm looking at my.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's
I do own Square Up.
album.
Okay, I see
Show
it,
me.
but-
Show me the money.
It's kind of far.
Show me
man.
the ice on my wrist.
It's kind of like 10 feet away. I don't think I can make it over there. But
Okay.
but in terms of the album, you know, I think I'm feeling the hype. I might pre-order this album. I'm thinking
Really?
about it.
Curiosity is
I'm
piqued.
very curious
yes.
about it. Yeah. This is good. I'm gonna have to think about it some more. But you know, Selena Gomez, Blackpink, interesting collaboration, interesting song, right? I think people are very decisive. But the thing at the end of the day is that people are talking about this song, which is honestly the name of the game.
Yeah, it's
So-
got a lot of eyes on it.
And I think with this one, and then how you like that, which is also a very decisive song, people either loved it or hate it. I think the album is going to have like the world's attention whenever it drops.
Yes.
Because in terms of global recognition and hype train going on, it's like for female groups, Blackpink is number one, if not 1A, right? In terms of that kind of hype. So we'll have to see. But let's move on to the last song. August 31st, Monday today, day 6, there's a unit. It's called Even of the Day, which consists of Youngtae, One Pill, and Dowoon.
You're wrong.
So I'm wrong?
yeah, it's called Even of Day, not Even of the Day.
Oh, Even of Day. I can't read right now. Even of Day.
It's grammatically incorrect. That's what we're going for.
So
Yes.
they released a song called Where the Sea Sleeps. So they are from JYP, debuted 2015. Last 3 songs as day 6 as a whole are Zombie, Sweet Chaos, Time of Our Lives. 2 music show wins so far. This animated music video plus song combo.
Oh, that's cute. So cute.
It was so cute,
Oh,
right?
so cute.
It was so cute.
It was very kawaii. It was
Yeah.
very uwu.
But also kind of sad. Like
Yeah.
the sadness is there, you know, a little bit in the lyrics.
Yeah, this
But,
is one of those
yeah.
songs where it doesn't actually match up the with the music video thematically, but the vibes are. I get what they're going for.
Yes.
Right? I would say. Is it me, Anita, or does this give off like a sort of R&B Boys to Men-ish type
Yes.
of feel?
Yes,
right?
I agree. But I also, for some reason, maybe it was the inclusion of the animation and some part of the instrumentation. It reminded me of like a video game, like 8-bit type of sound for some
Okay,
reason, like
yeah.
old school R&B, but in that interpretation for some reason.
Warren has a bunch of confused looks. Give us your interpretation of what this song is.
I know I understand where you guys are going with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. You know,
Okay.
like it has a very subculture vibe. It reminds me of like Adoi and their music.
Okay. Yeah, I know of Adoy.
Yeah, you do? I'm surprised.
You mentioned
Yeah,
them. Yes.
Yeah, they have a lot more relaxed, chill R&B approach to rock music, and this kind of felt like that.
It's a bit of a switch up for Day 6's sound, right? This is a
I
real
like it.
outlier for them. I kind of like it. Now, I know it's a unit, and I like how they shout out Jae and Sungjin in the music video by having 2
Yeah.
smaller dolls, and then during the dream sequence or whatever, they were also present. I kind of like that. I thought that was cute.
When I was first watching it, I wasn't paying that much attention, and I was like, "Did those 2 die? Are they ghosts?
No.
What is going
Yeah. I thought they died, and I was so sad. at
Okay,
one point.
okay, I was not the only
I
one.
thought they died when the ship exploded and all that, yo. But I knew Day 6 had vocals, but them vocals in this song were ridiculous in the chorus. I did not expect that. Like, I know, like, maybe I'm just not as deep into Day 6 as the average person, but I was really surprised at how fantastic the vocal line was in this.
No, they were great. I really liked their
Wow.
singing. I kind of feel mixed about that too, a little bit. Because on one end, I was like, wow, they're really great at singing. They carry a lot of emotion. But at the same time, I was wondering, what if this was a solo track?
Ooh,
'Cause-
okay.
Oh.
I can see
Right?
that.
Because I felt like every time the vocal switched, it kind of broke my immersion a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, okay,
Oh.
suddenly you have a different voice in the mix. That might also be because I'm not super familiar with the Day 6 vocals. I haven't checked
Yeah.
out that much.
Because
I
mean,
could
for
see
me,
what you're saying. Yeah.
for me,
Go on.
I felt like it went well because if I think of vocals, the vocalists in Day 6, Wonpil and Youngtae have more complementary in a sense where they can still sound different. Like you can still tell there's 2 people singing, right? Whereas if I combine them with 2 others, the difference might be even greater, or it might not be that apparent. So I don't know. I feel like the combo for the vocalist made sense to me, and I think they complemented each other without overshadowing or without it seeming like, oh, this could have just been one person, in my opinion. But that's interesting that you feel like it could have just been one.
Well, I could see the argument, right? Because one of the things that Boyz II Men specifically are super famous for are ridiculous harmonies, right?
Yes.
I do get what Warren's saying because at some points in the chorus, this could have been a solo song, right? And they have these three great vocalists. Maybe we add some interesting, crazy harmonies or something, and we could have added a little bit more. I don't know.
To clarify, I don't think it would have been better if there was only one person. I was just thinking, what if it was? I don't know.
No, I think it could have. I could see that argument for sure. But overall, like, a bit of a curveball from Day 6. Specifically, I'm going to say the name correctly now. Even of Day. There's no the. It's just Even of Day.
Even of Day.
Even of Day. Overall, a fun song. Like, it's like unexpected, and it's one of those. I turned it on. I was like, did not expect this. Jeez, like, I was pleasantly surprised.
I can easily. This is actually on my playlist of like evening music, like summer evening music.
Yes.
Right. This is that like, oh, the sun's going down. I have a little can of beer. Like, oh, I'm just chilling out. The breeze is coming in. That kind of vibe, right? Like, this is great. I dig it. Dig.
Yeah, I think sometimes units don't hit the mark. This one definitely did for me. It added something different that we didn't expect, and it's like adding to their overall growth as artists. Overall, great for me. All right, let's move on to other releases this week. So I think we pronounced this incorrectly last week.
Yeah, let me try. Yeah.
We Eyes. Kim Yohan. He released No More.
I apologize.
Oh My Girl Ex Pororo. They released another Pororo song called Bara Bara Bam. Only One Of released a Song of Ice and Fire. That's like literally sounds like Game of Thrones. Yes.
Oh my god.
Ian Sang, who was on, I believe he was in X1, and he's from Produce X101. He released Beautiful Scar. And then BTS X Hyundai's, I think it's Ionic, released I'm On It. It's this like commercial track, but it's actually good. It's really strange. It's so go check that one out. I'm On It. But we're now at Spice King. So Spice King is a segment where each week the crew will decide which new song or which song in general climbs to the top of the Soju chart and reigns supreme. Each week the crew will evaluate the Soju Talk, which consists of 3 songs in terms of song quality, spice, and listener fatigue. Songs that place number 1 on the Soju Talk will be declared this week's Spice King, and songs that win Spice King 3 times in a row will gain entry into the Hall of Spice and be removed from the Soju chart. So last episode 101, the Soju chart was BTS Dynamite got first place and got their first win. Second place was ITZY's Not Shy, and third place was JYP X Sunmi's When We Disco. And of course, the contenders or possible songs that can be added this week are the 4 we covered. So Card's Gunshot, KDA's pre-release, The Baddest, Blackpink featuring Selena Gomez Ice Cream, and Day 6, Even of Day, Where the Sea Sleeps. So, what do we think the chart should look like this week?
Okay. Can I first say I think we can change the third track.
That's the spot I was leaning towards.
I agree that Dynamite and Not Shy have to say 1 and 2. I wholeheartedly believe that. You two are all in agreement with that.
Okay, yes. We agree. What is the third track?
Let's start this off. So BTS's Dynamite, they're getting their second crown, right? Second win. Shout out to BTS's Dynamite. We'll talk about more about Dynamite later in the news section. But song 3. So JYP X on Me, When We Disco. Okay, so first of all, if we're gonna potentially discuss replacing it with a different song, which one?
Oh man, it's actually I'm split 3 ways.
3 ways?
I'm split 2.
Same.
Anita, is it the KDA song and the Day 6 song?
Correct.
Okay, what's the third one for Warren? Is it Ice Cream?
Ice Cream.
Wow!
Ooh.
Impressive. Did not expect that. Well, you got outvoted there, sir, so you gotta have to drop that one.
I'm sorry, guys. Any
All right,
Ice Cream? I'm sorry, Blinks. I tried.
First thing let's do is decide between the Day 6 song and KDA.
Okay.
So if we want to have a contender to verse When We Disco, which one do we think is the superior song?
I'm gonna put my vote in for Even of Day 6, Where the Sea Sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because it is not that I don't think The Baddest is a bad track. Baddest is a bad track. I think the Baddest track is the baddest track. I do think it was a safer route. And Where the Sea Sleeps is more of an adventure, a more riskier move. And I think personally, I lean more towards those adventurous ventures.
So you wanna give them some like adventure points.
Yes,
Okay.
thinking outside the box kind of.
Anita, which of the two songs would you have chosen?
I think both are very different songs, right?
For sure.
But for some reason, I feel like the Even of Day, the Day 6 unit, the song that they produce feels very re-listenable. Like that kind of song that it doesn't feel like it feels like it's like you could loop it, but in a way that it feels like it's not overwhelming. Like, oh, I'm getting tired of hearing the same thing over and over again. Because I feel like I think somebody also described it. I don't know if I read it or if I heard it from somebody else saying like it sounds more like a lullaby at times, where it's like soothing, but not necessarily like a ballad. I feel like it still has the high points, low points of a typical pop song. So I think I would listen more to Day 6. So
I was really undecided, but because both of you chose that, I'll go along with that, right? So we're basically saying song of the week out of the new songs was Day 6, Even of Day, Where the Sea Sleeps. So now is it Where the Sea Sleeps, or is it When We Disco? That's the final argument we need to make for third place. Now, fatigue is one of the criteria.
I was about to say.
Now, I think song quality, I think it's a coin flip on either of them.
Yes.
I think they're two totally different songs, so it's hard to debate which we think is better. But I'm ready for some change on the chart a little. Personally.
Yeah, I think I've moved on from When We Disco, to be honest.
What about you, Anita? Are you okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay with this.
Okay, so it is decided. So the Soju chart for episode 102 is BTS's Dynamite picking up their second crown. You know, their Spice King for the second week in a row. If they win next week, they're in the Hall of Spice, whatever that means. You know, second place, ITZY's Not Shy, still a great song. I listen to it every day. And third place, new entry, we got Day 6, Even of Day, Where the Sea Sleeps. So congratulations to those three songs.
Congratulations. Woo! You know what's really funny?
What?
Besides BTS, they're all JYP Entertainment tracks.
They are.
True.
Yeah. It's JYP, Day 6. Oh.
Wow.
You know, they just killing it. But the last segment of part 1 is show winners. Anita, hit us with them. It's a little weird though this week.
Yeah, so on Tuesday on the show and Thursday on Countdown, there was no broadcaster winner because of COVID-19. But later in the week on Wednesday on Show Champion and Friday on Music Bank, ITZY's Not Shy had its 2 first wins. So congrats to them. Then later on the weekend, on Saturday on Show Music Core and Sunday on Inkigayo, BTS's Dynamite also had 2 wins. So congrats to them.
Woo, so Not Shy, Dynamite. You know, we're not crazy. They are the top 2 songs right now.
There you go.
We're not crazy. But yeah, COVID situation's kind of getting rough in Korea.
Yes,
they used to be averaging like 30 cases a day. Now it's like 300 or something.
Yeah.
It's not great. So that also affects us in terms of the content. The news is getting a little scarce. But we'll talk about that after our short break. So we are now at the end of part 1 of SojuTalk episode 102. If you're listening to the audio version, sit tight, and if you are on YouTube, head over to the episode 102 part 2 video. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.